Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. We are live. We are live. We're back for another match preview, and today it's Arsenal versus Spurs at the Emirates, taking place tomorrow. Got a special guest on today as well, so we're going to get into NLD previews. We're going to get into predicted lineup, combined 11s, all of that good stuff. So get in the chat, get your questions in for us as well. We'll be answering questions live on the YouTube. So get in there, send your questions in as well. And yeah, let's do this, man. Let's get straight into it. Yes. We're live. We're in the cut. I'm here with my boy Miles. Miles, how you doing, bro? You good?
Come on, you Spurs, first and foremost. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
Looking forward to it. It's always a special occasion.
North London derby. North London derby. So we're here. We're back again. Back again for another one. Our bi-yearly visit to North London
man.
derby. Yeah. So yeah, boy, it's another one, isn't it? It's another one. We're back again.
Yeah.
How do you think your season has been going so far?
Oh, it's been basically two completely different periods within the season, man. Just like up until the Christmas period, honestly, I was thinking we were world beaters. Like I was
Yeah.
loving the the amount of goals we were scoring and sort of how defensive we were working. And yeah, man, it just looked like a solid unit. And then, everyone must have been eating a mince pies too early or something because the Christmas period up until recently has been abysmal. Like literally the standard of football from my club wasn't to any sort of level at all. So yeah, tailor two stories really.
Lest we forget. Lest we forget.
I knew that was coming. I knew.
Lest we forget. We had Miles on the podcast for those of you who don't know earlier on in the season when Spurs were riding high at the top of the league before the first NLD, I think it was actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Which Spurs won. And yeah, he was the maestro at the time. If you're lucky we didn't catch you on the download because you're on the up right now. You got what 5 wins in a row, so you're kind of coming back up again. So are we back on maestro levels or not? Not
Listen, bro, I wasn't wrong when I said it. I stand by it. I wasn't wrong at the time because the game after that interview, he was the maestro for that game. We got the 2-0 win. Great performance on the counter attack. Yeah, we didn't have the ball, but it was a maestro level performance. And then the true colors got to come out at some point. So
yeah.
I definitely regret saying that, but still correct for that interview.
Well, the thing is, it could be. We'll see what happens in it because Jose. He likes to win the big prizes, and I heard someone talk about it before with Pochettino. Pochettino always prioritized finishing higher in the league rather than winning a trophy. And then obviously the Champions League as well, which obviously he got to the final to. Whereas you feel like Jose is a man where he wants to build on the little successes to bring the team up. He did it with Chelsea, did it with Man United as well, winning the the little ones that don't care about. And obviously you're in the cup final. You're pretty much into the quarterfinals of the Europa League as well. So it's weird. Like it goes for a period, but this could end up being your greatest ever Premier League season.
Wow, how are we here saying this? Yeah, no, I agree.
A European trophy, and obviously a European trophy is obviously longer to go than that. But you're in a cup final, you're also playing the best team in the country as well.
Yeah, I'm quite confident, against Man City in a one-game face-off. I know they've been playing well, but we always seem to, even when they are playing well, we always seem to sort of rustle their feathers a bit in a cup game. And so, yes, we know they're high and mighty, but I'm quite confident about that one. People were talking quite early, even Jose, about this Europa League opportunity. I'm a bit more hesitant to sort of come out confidently on that because I just feel like the football we've been playing has not been at a level to win any sort of cup. So how we're still winning competitions, he knows better than me. But
the Maestros, that's what the Maestro does, isn't it?
the greatest ever Premier League season for Spurs. I'll take it. Obviously, I will. But in this manner, woo, yeah.
Obviously, you finished higher before, then you probably will finish this season. But it's about what comes of it, innit? And what where you get to. Got a few people in the chat. Wilson's in the chat. Wilson is saying Tottenham fans, including Mourinho, getting cocky before a ball has been kicked. Come on, man.
Is he talking about the game coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, today, sorry.
I think he was talking about. I think he was talking about the previous one, but I don't know. But maybe it's both.
Okay.
We got Shane in the chat saying, "Looking forward to this as a neutral. The NLD is one of the best derbies out there." And that's the thing, I mean, we obviously love our clubs and want them to win and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual rivalry and on the pitch battles, and you rarely see a 0-0 dry deadbeat game, whereas you see a lot of the other ones out there. It's just not really hit the heights.
Yeah, the advertising for those other derbies are amazing, but I just feel like the North London derby is always like loads of goals, always a red card. There's always something to argue about afterwards, and the hatred is there. So yeah, man, I feel it's one of the best ones. I agree with that comment from Shane.
And we're going to get into our favorite NLDs as well. We're going to get into that in a minute, actually. We got Airhan in the chat as well saying the dream scenario is we win Europa and Carabao, and then Mourinho leaves us at the end of the season.
Listen, Airhan, if that happens, Levy is not having that kind of conversation with Mourinho. He's not having it at all. If the fans are in the stadiums and expressing the same view as him, maybe because that's hurting the pocket, but Mourinho's going to have like so much artillery in that interview if that ever happens. So yeah.
And he's leaving on a high. Like he'd be like, job done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come to get the job done. So
respect.
Respect. Yeah, 100. Coming all of that. How many times have I won the Europa League now? How many times have I won the Carabao Cup now? Add it to my collection. So boy,
Go on.
No,
obviously my main priority is the club. I love the club, so I hear what Aaron's saying there. But if he brings that success for the club, I'm here for it every single day of the week. Yeah, I will back it shamelessly.
All right. Well, let's get into let's delve in the past before we go into the future. So we kind of had a look. Both of us had a look at some NLDs in the past.
Yeah.
And we've both basically chosen 3 of our favorite NLDs. They don't necessarily have to be Premier League. They don't necessarily have to be wins. It could be for entertainment purposes. But I know you've chosen your 3. So go from 3 to 1. What is your 3 favorite North London derbies that there's been?
Yeah, so this was an interesting, and it's interesting you say they don't have to be wins because that was my first rule. I wrote off every one that wasn't a Spurs win. I said no. They've got too many wins in the past. That's why you said the past as well. I was like, oh god, here we go. And they've got too much in the past. So I said nope. Let me stick to the positive results. And I'll start. My first one, if I can start, is actually probably the reason why. What I am a Spurs fan today. Obviously, my dad's a big Spurs fan as well, and I've gone for April 1991, which is the last time.
Wait, were you alive?
I was. Right, I was 1 year old. Yeah, revealing my age, but I was 1 year old. Yeah, but listen, we will look at videos and history of our clubs and everything, so we know, when the successes come or where the clubs come from and everything. So this one in particular, I chose it because it happened on the day of my christening for people who are religious out there. Big semi-final in the FA Cup against Arsenal, who I believe were actually flying high that year in the league. I think they might have won that league. They won the league that year as well. Yeah. So, my dad's obviously supporting Spurs. it's my christening. Doesn't really probably want to be at my christening. And Spurs come through with a strong, we had good attacking players in that squad, I see as well. We had lots of Gascoigne, so yeah, man. And Lineker, he got the goals as well. So big 3-1.
Was that when Gascoigne scored the free kick?
Yeah, absolute
one of the greatest FA Cup goals, isn't it?
You see it all the you see it.
Yeah,
so I had to put that one in. It just felt like destiny. That's why I'm sitting here today in this interview, supporting the club. And it was at Wembley as well, so it wasn't like it was a small crowd. I think 70-something thousand people there. Yeah. So big day for Spurs fans, pre my generation, I would say. But I got to throw that one in there as not number one for me, but yeah, one in there.
Okay. And you went on to win the FA Cup that year as well, I think. So not a bad year. Have you won it since then?
We haven't won the FA Cup since then. that's why. And it pains me as well because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's the best cup competition in world football." And I was like, "Don't say that."
I hear that. All right, yeah. So go on to your number two.
My number two. Okay, this one I've gone for I've gone for it purely for like bragging purposes and pure carnage during the game. So I've gone for an absolute battering of the Arsenal. We played them in, I think it was the League Cup, the last cup we won. This was in 2008, which is the year we won that League Cup as well. We beat Chelsea in the final. We won the runners. So we played you guys in the semi-final, and I think there might have been a red card in the game from your side, which is probably why it happened. But we absolutely battered you guys 5-1.
Yeah.
People like Steve Malbronk and Aaron Lennon running riot. I loved it. I remember watching this game. Yeah. So, you don't get many opportunities where I don't have to scream at the TV too much about why we conceding. So this game finished 5-1 with us at Tottenham at home. So 5-1 to Spurs.
Mickey Mouse Cup, innit?
There we go. And even I think Adebayo scored your only goal that game. Before he obviously came to us. And that was at the Lane as well. So you can imagine being there. I wasn't there for that game, obviously, but you can imagine being there and just the goals flying in, man. That has to be in there.
Yeah.
That NLB.
All right. What's your number one?
Number one is obviously I'll put this one in there because it's more recent and I can remember. It was a period where I think we had Poch as manager during this period, and this is when the dominance started. Like this is when we could feel confidence coming into these games. We had the uprising of Harry Kane. I know he didn't start on the Poch, but he's coming into these games feeling confident. And then that helps obviously the fans. And it was a Premier League game, this one. So I've mixed them up. And it was in 2015, the beginning of Poch's era. And we played you guys at home and got we went 1-0 down, I think. Mesut Ozil scored. I remember this goal as well. It was like, someone had the shot. I think it was one of you guys had the shot. Terrible shot. Went like to the left or so, and then Ozil was just standing there on his own in the goal, volleyed it in the roof of the net, and then you guys are at the lane just like said it. I was like, pain. And then I felt like usually I would see my team cave in sometimes, or but obviously it's the NLD, and Harry Kane said, "Stay calm, lads, stay calm." And I think this one was. I think it was a tap in from a deflected shot. He was on his own in the box as well. Just like Ozil tap in to equalize. Harry Kane, up and coming, and then the header. Oh my god, where he's just on his own in the box. I can't remember who whips in the cross. I think it was but he's directed the cross from the far post back to where it's come from. and that's why, look at me, you can see me doing the header as well, because that's what all our Spurs fans were doing at the time. He's in the air above everyone. The Cristiano Ronaldo technique. directing the ball back into the other side of the net. 2-1 win, 2 goals for Harry Kane, and then it was a beautiful feeling. So not a drubbing of Arsenal, but a solid 2-1 win of a confident Spurs that period. I love that feeling, man.
Yeah,
and it's annoying because I wanted to pick the game with obviously my favorite Harry Kane goal against you guys, where the one with the
one in the
mask
corner.
and
Yeah.
I wanted to pick that game, but because of my rules, we didn't win that game technically, so I couldn't pick it.
Oh yeah, I think we came back for a draw in that game, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, that was a banger. That was a banger.
So I've gone for that.
And I guess because of your rule, you couldn't back the 4-4 Aaron Lennon because that was absolute scenes. That was scenes. I remember watching that game, and it was just back and forth. I think Bentley scored for you, and then we got a few goals. We were cruising for a bit, and then Genus and Lennon. Oh man, it felt like we just lost that game badly. Like you, the man, on the Emirates, you lot on the pitch and all that. It was mad. That was a mad game. That
you're correct though, man. That was, obviously you had to check that game again. That feeling was amazing. But like I said, because of the rule, I couldn't throw that one in there today. But man, that was Genius, man. That was him, Genius, the Arsenal slayer, man. That was him. When he turns up for those 2 games of the season, I respected him for that. And man, just hopefully we can see. I want to see Dele Alli kind of summon some of that energy as well for at least for those 2 games, man. Hope we'll see what happens. We'll talk about the starting lineup, I guess, later, but hoping to see him get something from this game as well.
All right, we'll get into that. So my top 3 kind of different. So my first one is kind of personal. It was the first time I went to White Hart Lane with my boy Don Swin, and
legend.
Not the first time I went there, but the first time I went there as an adult by myself, buying the tickets by myself, going up there by myself with my boy, and going into the away end as well. And it was literally just a League Cup game. It was a 2008, I think it was a League Cup game in September or whatever. And it was it was just the feeling of being in the away end at White Hart Lane, like just being against them fans are in White Hart Lane, so small, cramped in that corner. And them man are literally there, the stewards are there, but they're not really there. And you were looking for someone, and it was you want it. It was on site. It was I see you man down there. I see you man down the road in a minute. Yeah, I see you there. I wasn't even wearing my Arsenal top. We weren't on that. I weren't on that going to White Hart Lane anyway. I'm sorry. I'm coming out of the stadium and I'm just dipping. I'm going to Walthamstow ASAP. It was mad. And we won 2-1. I think Flamini scored 2 goals. One of them was a banger. We scored 2 goals, but it was just that feeling of raw, this could be on site. There was this man beside me, looking for man to say, right, I'm looking for you at full time, and it's gonna. I don't encourage violence or anything, and it never really always got to that. It might be 1 or 2, but it was just that it was just the atmosphere. I never sat down once. I kind of was a bit annoyed that I paid money for that ticket and I didn't even sit down on that seat because you wouldn't be able to sit down. The stewards were please sit down, and the man was no. And they were all right, cool. It wasn't happening. I just remember that game as a it's just as a personal one. But and then we won the game 2-1 as well, so it was a good feeling. But I was wow, I want to do that. I want to do that again. I want to do that again, man. So
that feeling must have been epic. Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, it was sick. It was sick. All my 3 games, I was actually there for the games. And so the next one I'm going to it was a mad game in 2005. Neeks to pull it in here. Spurs 4, Arsenal 5 at White Hart Lane.
Oh my god!
Absolutely. It was a back and forth. This is when I say North London was one of the best derbies. Stuff like this, when the goals, when the shackles come off and the tactics come off, and it's just all about I want to score. And the defense was a mess both ways.
Love it.
It was just like, nah, you score, we score. Like it was
Two boxers swinging at each other. Just
fully like back and forth. And like I was I said I was in the I think I was in the Spurs end, and it was like I was behind the goal, and I was behind the goal when Vieira was running through on goal. You know, when Thierry did that that thing, and then they say I'm not active, and he ran through, and it's like he was running towards me, and he was about to score the goal. Like he was just running. I was like, he's gonna finish it, he's gonna bury it, and he buried it. I just remember it just being, it was just a mad game. It was just like, again, back and forth, back and forth. You didn't know he was gonna end up getting the win. I think we kind of had a 2-goal advantage at one point, and then the foe scored the last goal. I don't know, something like that, and then it ended 5-4.
Yeah.
But it was just that was shackles are off, like guns blazing. Let's go for it.
Do you want to see one of them today, or?
The thing is, I think both of our managers are too tactical for that to happen.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, like I can't imagine him losing. I can't imagine a 5-4 game with Jose Mourinho. Can't imagine it. And even Arteta, in the sense of like, if we're losing by a certain extent, he'll end up shutting up shop, or he will obviously go for the goal with 1 or 2 in it. But I just can't see it. Getting back and forth. And I think Wenger was like that at some points, but then there was times in his period like this when he just kind of felt like these men were taking over him. Like you had the Thierry Henry and his peak and Pires. Like them men were just hungry to go and score goals. And same thing with Defoe and Keane, Canute, all them man. It was just like we're just gonna go and score goals. Now I think strike force wise, potential to do it. Yeah. It's just tactical wise, I just can't see it happening. Do you think it could be that kind of game?
I think you're right. I don't think Mourinho's looking for that kind of game at all. Unless it's only our side doing the scoring where we're counter attacking. But once we're 1 or 2 up, he's saying, "Yeah, boys, that job." If it's 1-0 at 65, 70 minutes, yeah, we're trying to hold that. We're trying to hold that 1-0, see it out. But yeah, like I said, like I feel like that game you mentioned, there were players in there like the Henrys, Pires in particular. I feel like they genuinely hated my club. Like, so I feel like, yes, there were tactics, but I feel like they'd want to embarrass us. I feel like those players, Defoe for us, like they wanted to embarrass the opposition. I feel like players back then. I don't know if it's the same now. I know obviously Kane, Ali plays like this. They want to really kind of make their mark, especially on this particular game. I don't know if it's the same throughout the squads now, but definitely back then I felt like the North London derbies were games where not just the fans were like trying to get bragging rights, but the players were really kind of like saying, "We don't like this club. Let's go out and embarrass them." So. Yeah, man. That's a good choice. That was a good choice for your side.
Yeah, I heard that. But Ehan's saying it's true. You did have a 5-4 against Everton this season in the FA Cup. It's like them. The thing is with the FA Cup, it's one of them ones where it's like you have to kind of go for it. It's either win or you're out of the cup, isn't it? It's not like a draw. A draw you can kind of take. And it went to extra time, innit? Yeah. So like a draw in a Premier League game, you can be like, cool, settle for a draw, whatever. But in the FA Cup, you have to, innit? You have to go for it, and you lot were chasing as well. So listen, it can happen. It's just tactically, I just can't see it happening. Can't see it.
That game was crazy, man. It was an anomaly. He definitely didn't set out to have that kind of game. But I feel like both players, yes, they've got like 2 of the most experienced and glittered managers in world football. I feel like the players literally just took it upon themselves to say, look, we can't defend. Let's just use our strengths. Let's just go at each other. And the manager just said, you know what? Do your thing, man. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, we didn't come out on top, but yeah.
It happens, isn't it? It happens. Right, so my last one, I'm going to set the scene. I thought I could do that. this must have been 2004.
Okay.
Arsenal going 2002, going for a season, challenging for the Premier League. Things are looking good. We got a game against White Hart Lane, and all we need is a draw. All we need is a draw to wrap up the league. All we need is a draw to wrap up the league. And was it 2000? Might have been, I think it was 2004. We knew that. All we need to do is not lose the game. League's done, title's done. Again, I was there for that game. I was in the Spurs end because these times I was getting football. My uncle was a Spurs fan, so my uncle Leonard actually just passed away. Rest R.I.P. He stayed with Tottenham games all the time, and I was in the Spurs end watching this game and like knowing that this could be it. This could be the day that Arsenal win the league. And you go 1-0 up, and then you're thinking, yeah, this is going to be it. We're going to do it on a win. We're going to wrap up the league. So it's all good. And then it was like 2 late goals. I think Jamie Redknapp smashed one in from outside the box, smashed one in. Oh no, we must have went 2. No, we went 2-0 up. We went 2-0 up in the game. Jamie Redknapp smashed one in to make it 2-1. And then there was a corner in the last minute, and then someone got fouled in the area, and the ref gave a pen. Robbie Keane took the penalty, and he scored the goal to make it 2-2. Now, and then it was a weird feeling because at the end of the game, the whistle blew. Looks right at the end of the game, whistle blew, and the Spurs fans were cheering. And one thing I love is I'm gonna go back and watch the documentary about it. Thierry Henry's talking about it, and he goes, Taribo was celebrating in front of me, and he was just jumping. And before the game, they told us, look, if you get the result, don't celebrate, don't, because NLD is gonna get the fans all mad. Like, don't do it. Just don't win the league and just go back home and celebrate. But he said Taribo was celebrating in front of me. Like, yes, you stopped them. Last minute goal. They didn't win the game. And Henry just said, nah, you know what? This ain't happening. This ain't happening. You can't be celebrating a draw and we've just won the league in your ground. Nah. Bring the banner out. He said to Ashley Cole, bring the banner out. Told the man, them calm down. We're getting to the away end over there with the fake. The boys in the away end had the fake trophies. Threw out the fake trophies to us, and we were sitting down on the pitch celebrating the fact that we won the league at White Hart Lane. Absolutely no way was we gonna just sit there and go back home on a quiet one just to stop any arguments in the fans. No way. Henry was like, no way, it's not happening. Not happening at all.
I have to respect that, man. I have to respect that. I would expect my boys to do the same thing. So,
like, you can understand in a sense, like the adrenaline running through, and like being a player in that moment of like you're winning the game 2-1, and then you've just lost the game. Like, well, you've just lost the goal in the last minute. Like that annoying feeling. Like you probably would have wanted to win the game and then celebrate winning the league. But like it happens, isn't it? It's football, isn't it? I think that's 2004. That was our unbeaten season, so we didn't lose. You know, you could have beaten us to stop the unbeaten run, and you didn't as well on that as well. So that's part of that as well. And then we go and celebrate winning the league. It's like, nah, like doing like celebrating it. We're here, we're celebrating the fact that we winning the league. So yeah, man, that like it was a draw, but it was the best draw I've ever had in my winning the league at the Lane. Not for the first time, by the way. Not for the first time.
I knew that was coming.
Not for the first time. Back in the days, we did actually win the league at White Hart Lane before it was the Premier League. But yeah.
I hate that interview of Henry as well. I remember watching it, and his face is like, what's Taribo doing? Like, he's just confused. He's so cocky with it, and I hate it.
We got Taribo, innit? Because if it weren't for him, we might have just gone back home and just chilled.
Oh man. Okay.
But yeah, you had some good derbies in the past, man. There's some good derbies in the past. Neeks was saying that Danny Rose goal. Hated that. Absolutely hated that. Like that goal, he just smashed it. I think Armunio was in goal, and he flapped at it a bit, and he made it even look better. And it was just it was annoying. One of the worst. It was one of the worst moments, man.
I can't hate him after that. I literally can't him for anything.
He still plays for you.
What a player. I know. But we've disrespected him this season, man. So yeah, man. I'm not happy with that, but that's another thing.
Yeah. All right. Right. So before we get into again the ins and outs of the game, for Sunday. We're gonna do a combined 11. And so we're just gonna do a combined 11 between Arsenal and Spurs. We're gonna do it based on this season alone. So take away everything that's happened. Take away what's happened in the past, and just focusing on this season about what's been happening between both teams. And yeah, we'll get into who we think should be in the combined 11. So I'll bring up the tab, and yeah, man, we'll get into it. We'll get into on here.
Cool.
Should be able to see that in a second. Yeah, cool. So first of all, we'll start at the back. Goalkeeper.
Is this the formation?
Oh, you want to start formation? Okay, formation. So there's 4-3-3 on here. I mean, we started the season 3-4-3 as Arsenal, and then we went to 4-2-3-1. What do you lot play? You lot play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, innit?
We play 4-2-3-1. Yeah.
4-2-3-1. Okay, so you both play 4-2-3-1. So we'll do that as a middle ground. So yeah, okay, cool. We'll do that. So in goal, who you getting for? You got Lloris and Leno.
I mean, I feel like Lloris has to be in goal for this team. I'm not sure how many clean sheets we've got this season, but especially in the beginning period of the season, we weren't really flustered defensively or conceding too many goals, and it's kind of testament to how our goal difference is kind of better than the teams in and around us at the moment. But I feel like Lloris is the better instinctive stop shutter this season. I'm trying to think about Leno. I assume you're going to say Leno, or you might want to put Leno in there. But I'm not sure he's had a good season this season.
It's a tough one. I mean, like he's probably been decent stat wise. Like had a decent amount of clean sheets.
Yeah.
Obviously had a poor start to the season in terms of the team, where he couldn't buy a win to start the first part of the season.
Yeah.
And then he's made a few mistakes on the pitch, got a red card. Sometimes playing at the back isn't his. I haven't said he's not his best. He's actually quite good with his feet, but it's more of the awareness of when you're only playing at the back, you got to be aware of when the press is pressing and when to kick out long, and when to not even always kick out long, but to maybe don't go to the man in the middle because he's being pressed high. He's kind of something to that, but. I've seen Lloris's wrist these days, and man's a bit weak with them saves. Some of them goals getting in. And
that's only been a couple of games. No way. I know what you're talking about. But he's pulled off some absolute worldy saves this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Hugo because I think only more of the case of Leno hasn't always been convincing on the ball at his feet, and that's a big part of how we play. But I don't think Lloris has had a great season, to be honest. And honestly, I think it's about time you replaced him. Personally, I just feel like he's been there a while, and if you can find a better goalkeeper, I think it'll be time to phase him out. Personally,
I even think he's probably been having those conversations as well, especially with Poch going to PSG, and I don't know. But I think he's been one of our most obviously I know it's about this season, but I think he's been quite consistent. He always has that period where he makes like a couple of mistakes each game, and then people start questioning him. But I think that's not been for as long as it has been in previous seasons this season. So he's got captain capabilities as well, which I really love about him. So yeah, man, I think he can go in this team.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll give you that. He's got Lloris has got 9 clean sheets this season, and Leno has 8 in the league. So clean sheet wise, not much between them.
Yeah.
I think Leno's probably made more saves, but the ratio, the ratio is probably all different as well. So it's a bit hard to judge from saves, saves made. But yeah, all right, I'll give it to you, go.
What
Right,
now?
right back. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
start with right back. I assume with Spurs, there's two options.
Yeah.
You got Doherty and Aurier.
Yeah.
And at Arsenal, there's probably two options as well in Bellerin and Cedric.
Okay.
Who would you go instantly when you hear those four?
I mean, you might disagree. It's not a great choice, in my opinion. It's not a great. We haven't got the riches that other teams have got there, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Aurier, Serge Aurier.
Really?
Yeah. Defensively, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go Serge Aurier, and I know he can be a liability sometimes. Mourinho's called him out, a couple of times as well, for just those mistakes at the wrong times in the match and in the wrong areas of the pitch. But overall, out of those four, I just feel like I feel like he contributes more to the systems that the managers play than any of the other three at the moment. Crossing wise in the last third, I think he's probably one of the worst ones. But everything else, I think defensively he's been quite solid for the majority of the season, which we can't always say about him in previous seasons. So I want to give him his props this season where it's due.
You said, yeah, Erhan says Aurier did bits in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bellerin. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans are and ahhing about him. I'm probably in the camp of it's probably time to move him on. Not because I don't think he's good enough, but because there's a part I don't think he's good. But when you've been stuck in a place for a long time, and I don't see him getting better at Arsenal, but I do think he can get better elsewhere in a different system under a different sort of manager and different style. I think he fits our system. He fits the system quite well, which is probably why he gets in ahead of Cedric a lot of times. And he does kind of create from right back. And the thing is, I'm probably getting Bellerin ahead of the other options. Aurier's been alright. I mean, I've literally not been convinced of him. I'm never convinced of him, personally. But
who is?
Yeah, I mean, I think Aurier fits Jose's system in ways, but I think that kind of just covers how good he really is. I don't really see him having much of an attacking threat, really.
He tries to. He does try to. Honestly, it's frustrating sometimes because I want him to beat the man and actually look up and pick out a man. So I feel like Bellerin is. I feel like Bellerin is better than him in the final third of the pitch.
Yeah, but Bellerin isn't great in the final third either. I mean, he's probably better at. Bellerin's probably better at the low crosses and kind of picking out a man. He's not a great cross of the ball, and we don't really have players to head it anyway. So that wouldn't happen. But okay, we'll leave right back as well. We'll pull it out. We'll come back to that. We'll pull it out. Guys in the chat, let me know whether you'd go with Aurier, whether you go Bellerin, and we'll come back to that. Centre back pairing. Who would you go for as a two centre backs in the?
So I've got one name for me that he's probably my first name on the team sheet if I was in Mourinho's position, and he's not been previously he's not been too consistent, but I feel like he just like a player that makes whoever he's next to better. And he marshals them. I don't know if he leads by example, but I feel like Toby Alderweireld is our best. I feel he's our best centre back, and deserves to be in this team.
At the start of the season, I remember when he got outpaced and Everton game in the first game, and man were like, "Wait, his legs gone? Has he got the got the pace to still stay in the Premier League?" But he's I agree. I think he has to go, and I think he's He's been good. The question, I think, it's difficult when you've been with someone like Vertonghen for so long and had that partnership to go with, like, to mix it up. Dyer, Sanchez, at the back, and I think that's always a difficult one. But
Rodon's not had enough opportunities for me to put him in.
Yeah.
I like him, but I can't say for this whole season yet. We'll see.
Yeah. See, for me, I would probably go out of. This is actually tough. Actually, a tough spot because Arsenal have got 4 centre backs, and I generally don't know sometimes who's the better out of the 4. Like Holding has been consistent throughout the season when he's played. Like he does a job well. And considering we're going to loan him out at the start of the season as well, he's actually been quite solid throughout most of the season. Gabriel had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
Like, I think he won Player of the Month twice in a row for us. Then he got COVID in December and then fell off. Like, he couldn't get back in the team. And he kind of wasn't in. He was kind of in the team when we were playing bad, but he was like the only sort of good thing. But he had a great game on Thursday night. Probably his best performance in a long while. But yeah, as I said, it's been an up and down season for him. Like, coming back from COVID and getting back in the side, it hasn't been easy for him. David Luiz is David Luiz. You know what I mean? He's just like, you never know what you get with him. Man of the match against Man United. A week later, as a red card against Wolves. So it's like you literally can't call it with him. Like, I have no words for him sometimes. I genuinely don't know. But he also is a leader and is a big part of the defense, which is why Arteta keeps playing him. Sometimes you kind of need the leader to just be there to just help the team steady the ship. But ability-wise, he wouldn't get in his team.
I can't put him in his team.
No way. And then you've got Pablo Mari. Now, Pablo Mari, for me, has been our best centre-back. He's our best centre-back at the moment, the way he's playing. He came into this. Obviously, came in last year, got a bad injury at the restart when we came back, and has been out till December. Then we threw him in against Chelsea, and then him and Holden played very well up until now, really. Got another injury, which he kind of came out of. And he's the one that you don't really see the mistakes from.
Yeah.
Like, Gabriel is always suspect to a card. Luiz is Luiz. Holden's okay as well, but he tends to be like the consistent one in the back 4. The problem is he only really came into the side in December, so he's missed a whole chunk of the season. So I couldn't really put him in either.
You can't put Murray in?
I could put him in. I just feel like it wouldn't be fair on the others if I look at it across the season.
Okay.
He's had a good 3 months, he's probably our best at the moment. But I wouldn't put him in. So
I feel like you've written off 3 of your centre backs and have chosen just the one who's played the most, or been the most consistent.
Yeah, that's Holding, isn't it? Holding's
it's Holding.
But now Holding's not even in this. Now Holding can't even get in the squad because everyone's fit and playing.
Yeah. I'm shocked. I thought you would have said Murray. Murray's been good.
Shane says on ability and ceiling, I think Gabriel was the best. And I get that. Like, Gabriel's got that potential to be like sick, and I do like him as a future defender. And I think probably ability wise, he probably is. Okay. He's probably up there, but damn. Davinson Sanchez and Dyer can't get in there.
I was gonna say, and I love the club and everything, but I was gonna make it easier for you. I'm not putting Dyer or Sanchez in this team.
All right. If it was you, who would you put in for?
I hear what you're saying about the being out with COVID and everything. I was gonna put in Mari, but especially the beginning of the season, I'd say Gabriel was one where I was thinking, okay, this guy's looking actually quite decent. I hope he doesn't go in and steady the ship, but he was looking all right. I haven't seen him throughout the whole season, if I'm honest, but I would put one of them two. So you can take that one.
All right. I'm gonna go with Gabriel because I think he is the better. He's like if everyone's on form, he probably takes it. It's Gabriel. He probably takes it. So I'll go with Gabriel. But
All right.
Murray, and we'll get into the team that we're going to pick later. I don't know who my man's going to pick. And then we're going to go to left back. Yeah. I'm going to
Seems.
start. I'll start left back.
All right.
For me, there's no doubt about it. For me, there's no doubt about it. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh
For
my
me, there's no
god.
doubt about it.
Oh my god.
Kieran
Okay.
Tierney is so cold. This guy is cold. I don't know how much you've seen of him or what,
Yeah.
but like he, like as an outlet for us
Yeah.
on the left hand side. Sometimes everything goes for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes like he's on the ball. Like he started the season in the back three, but 3-4-3. It just wasn't. He just wasn't. Couldn't show his best because he couldn't get up and down the line. Even though he was at times with Saka in front of him. But since we went back to a 4,
Yeah.
my guy's been up, down. He scored an absolute banger against West Brom on his right foot, I think it was. Delivering balls in the box for fun.
Yeah.
We just don't have. We literally need someone like Giroud to head the ball in because there's no one there to do it. Aubameyang and Lacazette, it's not their thing to go and leap above a defender and head the ball. So I think lately, interesting, he's been cutting them back. He's been doing that, go to the byline and the X on the FIFA, just drag it back to a man on the edge of the box to score. Because he's realizing that these men can't header his balls, or he's putting in some good balls. I like Regulon.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good defender. There's an argument to whether he maybe is better than Tierney or not. I don't know if he's actually better overall as a player. But this season for me, there's no doubt about it. For me, it's Tierney.
So this might rustle feathers, but but you know what? So I have seen Tierney play for you this season, and it was only a couple of weeks ago. I said the same thing that you just said. I said Arsenal have 2 main outlets for me in their squad, and yes, he is one of them. I agree with you. I think he's been immense for you guys this season, and I feel like I'm thinking for the managers, if he's fit, he plays because he's that important to you guys right now, and he shows like a bit of a. He's just like relentless, and he's like a bit like some captain qualities as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah.
he never say die attitude, and
yeah.
Let me not big him up too much because
It sounds like you're on this thing. Like, are we good? Yeah, are we good to go? We can really...
I like him, and I think I actually think so. For me, Reguilon is the only left back I want to see on the pitch any single game all season. I know people will say to me, Ben Davies is consistent. For me, he's a consistent defensive player, but I just think he's so limited. Doesn't offer anything else. So Reguilon for me, I love his deliveries from wide areas. I think he can deliver with his left foot or with his right. So he's got that variation. I think he's had a good intro to the Premier League. He's come in really trying to sort of nail his place, and he is a starter for us. But I feel like defensively sometimes, he can be sort of beaten, even though he does track back. He gets up and down the pitch like amazingly. But for this team, I just feel I feel like Tierney will have to take that position.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, but for my Spurs team, there is no doubt about who starts for me. I don't even know where we play anyone else unless he's injured.
I agree. I think he's a good player, and this is a good point actually made by the Glazers family's bar mitzvah organizer. Says Reguilon and Tierney are similar level and both got great potential for the next 3 years. I agree with that. And I know, was it Roy Keane that said why would Real Madrid sell him?
Yeah.
But like, you can't use that as a basket because Real Madrid have got some sick left back, Marcelo,
Yeah,
Mendy, like they've got some cold left back. So
yeah,
Reguilon he's a good defender, and but I'll tell you what, there's a reason they put a buyback clause in there,
yes,
and that's the
100%.
reason why Man United didn't take it, because they said, what's the point of that Man United's point of view? What's the point of buying a guy who I know that if he's good, they're going to buy him back?
Yeah,
But you obviously needed a left
we
back, so
needed
you
it.
didn't. You
Yeah.
just had to go for it. But the thing is with that, the buyback clause, it depends on how well Mendy does in Real Madrid,
Good.
and he's looking good so far. So you
Yeah.
might be alright with that. I don't care about your Luke Shaw agenda. It's not a Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham preview.
Oh my
Get out of
gosh.
here with Luke Shaw.
What is
No,
going
I don't
on?
want to hear Luke Shaw's better than both of them. All right, Luke Shaw's had a Luke Shaw's had a good month, and all I hear is Luke Shaw. we
They'll be
move, we
cursing
move.
them again soon. Don't worry about that, man.
Yeah, they will.
They got short
Tell them,
memories, man.
no, it was Jose told him to lose weight before he gets in the squad. Right. Okay. So we'll go into the middle.
Okay.
Um, we'll go. Over. Yeah, we'll go over two. All right. Okay. Let's start. Which midfield pairing
Yeah.
would go in your two DM slots? DM CM slots
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
Pivots. So I'm gonna go first of all with Mourinho's first name on the team sheet,
Mm.
and in my personal opinion, let me just think. Yep, these signing of the last 5 seasons
What,
in
for Spurs or for the whole Premier League?
man, for the Premier League, man. Like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been a revelation in my squad.
Signing of the
I,
Premier League for the last 5 years.
listen. I, I've seen his stats recently, but what he does for the team in terms of just grit, in terms of it goes unnoticed, in terms of getting about every single area of the pitch and just
Mm,
blocking all those channels for attacks to be made. What he does to like Russell, he also does things like players sometimes will be scared to do. Like, for example, we play Crystal Palace, like Russell the feathers of the key men in the opposition's teams,
mm,
so that they can't just focus on the game. They've got, oh, this guy's he's clipping me. What's going on? Ref. He
mm,
just does the dirty work so
mm,
well. But
mm.
it's also like I can see why he's been at like top clubs, like obviously like Munich and stuff, because on the ball he's actually very comfortable. He doesn't play in sort of like 90-degree, 180-degree angles.
Yeah,
He spins on the ball, switches the ball left to right. He creates things as well, in my
yeah,
opinion, and keeps that ball ticking and
yeah.
always wants the ball from the
Mm,
defense. And just that, it just looks like he wants. He loves the battle and he
yeah,
loves to
yeah.
destroy opposition's attacks, and also looks for forward passes, which is really
Mm.
where I think some of my other centre midfield players are limited at the moment.
Was he?
Some
Did
of them,
he
not all of them.
come from Bayern? He came from Bayern, did he?
No, he didn't come from Bayern to us, but he's played. He's played
Yeah, he went to
abroad. He's played.
Southampton.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, from Bayern to Southampton. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, but I
He's.
could tell. Yeah, you could tell. He's a good. He's definitely a good player. He's a bit of a weird one, because obviously
Mm,
playing when you go to a club like Southampton,
mm,
and you buy from a Southampton, you kind of think,
mm,
they look, sometimes they look good in Southampton, but are they
mm.
good enough to, make the step up? There's question marks on Mane. Mane was a Southampton player, and he's like, oh,
Mm.
is he good enough for Liverpool? And then he steps up to the plate. And sometimes you got to take them risks. And I think that was one that definitely paid off. I don't know about signing in the last 5 years, but
I love him that much.
but I hear that for the season. I hear that,
Yeah,
and definitely deserves a mention in there, because yeah, he's been solid. Before we go on, people in
yeah,
the chat, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to Neeks Sports if you're new around here. Hit that bell as well to get notifications of when we're back, for more previews and more podcasts as well. Cool. So the other centre mid slot. I'm gonna go first on this.
okay.
But yeah, obviously, by the way, I agree. Yeah, Højbjerg definitely has to go in there. But the other centre mid slot, I'm going to go first. And it's a tough one for me. It's a tough one because for me, like Thomas Partey is a brilliant player, and I can see the potential in him, and the reason why we got him in probably like 2 or 3 games when he's absolutely dominated the pitch.
Okay.
His performances this season haven't been consistent enough for me. So I couldn't put him in this team because I've seen him like and the thing is, because he's so good, I watch him and I criticize him a lot because I see him, I watch him a lot on the ball. So like it's just for me, it's just, can he do it on a consistent basis? He said that he had an interview last week saying that Man United, the game he played against Man United was his best game, and he had a great game against Wolves as well, and that was the 2 that he remembers of being at his best. And and that's cool and that's good, and he was sick, but I need that on a regular basis. Like I need you doing that on a regular basis. So for me, after all the 2 options I've got there, I've got 2 other options. It's Ndombele and Xhaka. Now, if we were doing a 4-3-3, I would probably put them 2 in. Like it just makes sense to put them 2 in. But we've agreed on a 4-2-3-1, so I have to choose one.
Are you conflicted?
Yeah, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted. Listen, man, I'm conflicted because
I'm rattled. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, man. Listen, for me, Granit's had a good season. Granit's had a good season. Like wow. I know it sounds mad. And even me saying it sounds mad. like, and obviously, like we're coming off the back of a bad result against Burnley, and it was his fault for the mistake. But he has been like, whilst Partey hasn't been consistent, he's been the one holding the midfield together. Like when Partey hasn't been there, he was playing with Ceballos and he was playing with El Neni, and it was him that was putting the consistent performances together. And then obviously the other option is Ndombele, and I was a big supporter of Ndombele last season when man wrote him off, including your own manager. But this season has stepped up his game, and I think for good reasoning. And that goal we scored against Sheffield United was cold as well. So he's definitely got the skill set. And it's not because I want to get an Arsenal player in. Actually, thank you very much. I'm trying to add balance to the squad.
If he wants to add balance, Neeks, he would put him in. He would put Ndombele in straight away.
It has to. I wouldn't put
wow! Harry Winks over second.
No way. Absolutely no way. Yeah. I feel like I've written off Partey. Can I bring Partey back? Is it too late?
I'm not gonna lie. You could bring Partey. You could bring all of them combined. I don't feel like any of them have the ceiling and have done that Ndombele has. The artillery under his belt that Ndombele has, and what he's done this season and turning it around. I feel like his creative ability. I know what's his name. Souness will talk about power and strength and all that stuff, but his creative ability on the ball and how he can beat people for fun. And obviously, Spurs fans will say he reminds us. He's got those glimpses of the old Moussa Dembele. So. And obviously he was the GOAT. So what he does on the ball for me, and his foot, like I said, I mentioned it earlier, he's always looking to pass forward when he gets that ball, unless we're trying to shut up shop, which is Mourinho's choice, not the team's. But I feel like he just has everything. And it's literally up to him on the day as what happens in the pitch. He's that good. I feel like he can be even better. I feel like he's that good on the ball. I feel like he allows the 3 players in front of him to go and just do what they want. So I feel like them 2 together, that midfield there is we've actually got quite lucky with it.
Yeah, you have, because bought by 2 different managers as well, probably for different intentions as well. Anyway, I'm glad we're not talking about Musa Sissoko anyway, so I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Ah, okay.
Too many times he gets mentioned in these two, I'm like, nah, allow
Ah, I'm not
it.
gonna do that.
Number 10 now. It's interesting that you called for number 10 and you said this is what Spurs play. 4-2-3-1. If I asked you a month ago or so when you man weren't really on this 4-2-3-1, I was trying to 4-3-3 solid it up, trying to get
Yeah,
that one goal. But you've
yeah,
changed, and we've changed to be fair. We didn't play a
yeah,
number 10 till December. It's our first time playing number 10. So in that sense, it's kind of open because neither of us had started the season with it.
yeah.
Both of us, it's a new thing for us, but it's probably when we played our best football the most. So who would you go in the number 10 position?
Right. Uh, um, this one I'm conflicted with this one because I feel like Mourinho this season
Mm.
has been choosing the wrong number 10s. Now, now I say that because there's a lot of Spurs fans that would disagree with me. Basically, Lamella has been put in this position at some points.
Mm.
Now, I personally feel that Lamella in a number 10 position is um it just doesn't make any sense at all because he
Mm.
doesn't release the ball quick enough. Like
Yeah.
he wants to. I like what he does on the. He shows passion. He shows energy. He closes
Mm.
down. He closes down from the front. I like that. But for a number 10 position, going from the luxury we had with Christian Eriksen before, who
Mm.
would literally get the ball, spin, look up, and find our most dangerous man on the pitch.
Yeah.
I feel like Lamella doesn't do that, and it's so vital for that position. Neither does
Mm.
Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura is Mr. Cul-de-sac. Literally gets the ball, looks, sees the space, says no, decides to see where everyone is, run into
Mm.
that space, and then
Mm.
if he gets fouled, he gets fouled. If he somehow gets the ricochet, gets through, he gets through. I just feel like they're not number 10s.
Yeah.
We played Ndombele in that position earlier in the season, and
Yeah.
I think he was brilliant there.
Mm.
But I didn't want to put him in number 10 today. So
Mm.
I I'm gonna go. I would probably put you know who I'd want to see here? I'd actually want to see either Deli Ali or Saka
In the 10.
in the 10. That's what I would want to see there.
Deli
But
Ali. Deli
Deli Ali or
Ali.
Saka. I know he hasn't played. I know. But he's the perfect foil for that position. I swear. I'm allowed to choose who my manager doesn't choose, right?
Yeah, but it's based on this season, bro, man.
Ah, okay.
Remember, this is not. If we were doing a team, I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Delhi. I'm always calling for Delhi to play. I
Okay.
think he links up the play great. But that's the same thing what I said about other positions like Thomas Partey,
Yeah.
and he would have had a shout based
Yeah.
on his ability to go into the middle. But
Okay.
we're basing it off the season specifically, and there's absolutely no way I'm sanctioning Deli Ali to go in a number 10 position for this team. Absolutely no way. I'm sorry. Like I like
uh
him, but Jose told him, "Nah, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see
yeah.
you." And now
Yeah.
he's trying to break. Now he's trying to befriend him because I don't know because Levy told him to play him or whatever in the Europa League, and he's doing some. He's having some good games. But the reality
Yeah.
is, Dele Alli should have forced that move to PSG. That would have been sick for him. Anyway, Dele Alli for me
Ah,
doesn't make it. Let me give you some options now.
this is
Let me
gonna
give
be
you some options
difficult
for
then.
number 10 because
All right.
Neeks says Saka or Bale in the 10 and other right wing. Erhan says Erdegaard in the 10. I'm most shook of him tomorrow. And he says
Oh
also put
wow.
Saka in the 10. Says put Saka in the 10 and give front three to Spurs. Listen, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put Saka in the 10 because
Oh, okay.
he's not played the 10 all season.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
played left back, he's played left wing back, he's played left mid, left wing, and right wing.
Right
But
wing.
the
Yeah.
position he hasn't played is number 10. So for
Okay.
that reason, I'm not gonna try and fix man into to make this we could do that. We could change up
That's what I
position
was
to make it
doing.
all look good. To make it all look good. But like he's not played there, not once this season,
Okay.
really. Like he drifts in there and he can do well to do it in there, but I wouldn't even play him as a number 10. I just don't think I think he's got that on his ability, but a number 10, you have to kind of be on the ball a lot and be able to dictate play. I don't think he can. I don't think he will do that as well as he does out wide or wherever. So I wouldn't play him. So for me, therefore, it leaves only a couple of options.
Okay.
Smith-Rowe and Ødegaard from Arsenal point of view. Um, Smith-Rowe has been so sick since he came in against Chelsea in December. From then till now, got injured and then lost his place to Ødegaard really in the past couple of weeks. Since I think Ødegaard kind of came in midway through last month, so Ødegaard's probably been in there for about a month or so now, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. We've probably just seen the best of Ødegaard now. Scored a good goal in Europa League in midweek. Sometimes I want him to be a little bit more clinical in the box. Obviously, that was his first goal, but you can tell he's got the ability, and that's what I like about him. And I think going forward there's something to talk about there. But I'm actually gonna go with, based on what you said with the Spurs players as well, and I'm just not convinced that Lamela and Lucas are number 10s and that is their best position. I get why he's doing it, and when I watched you last week in the league, and he pressed, was it Palace when Lucas pressed for that goal? I think that's what that's what he's good at. He can press from the front, and when you play the 4 attacking players, he's good because he will press a little bit more than maybe what you have with Ndombele, because that's not his best attribute in terms of in the number 10 position. But I just don't feel like I trust him in the number 10 all season, which wouldn't be. This feel natural. So I'm gonna go based on that I'm gonna go with Smith-Rowe. Based on this season, I'm gonna go with Smith-Rowe based on this season, because Ødegaard probably would have had a little bit more time. I just couldn't say coming in at the end of January till now. I couldn't put him in. But Smith-Rowe he's changed our team. Like Arteta said, Smith-Rowe playing at number 10. He played so sick that our formation is now 4-2-3-1 when it was 3-4-3. Him alone, like before Ødegaard even came into the scene, he changed the way he played. And we've had our best football playing with him as a number 10. I know he's young. I know he's good. He's good on the ball. But sometimes it's not necessarily about him necessarily scoring every week or whatever, or creating every week, but having him in there, drifting in and out in that little pocket, finding in pockets, changed the way we play. And I was a bit surprised that Arteta started to move him left when Ødegaard came, because I just think on the left wing he ain't got that. I think he's best in the number 10. So for me, I'd go Smith-Rowe, man. I'd actually go Smith-Rowe based on that.
See, I think that's risky for you. I think that's risky because now who I feel is your best player has to compete with
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. Real strong.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. Do not worry about that. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Okay. I like Smith-Rowe. I think he's brought like a dynamism to your team. He really kind of, when he got the opportunity, he's really taking it like on his shoulders, and he's loved it. He's loved linking up with Saka and Lacazette. See, that was a player I thought you might have said for the 10 position, Lacazette.
Yeah, but even him in the number 10, we've tried it, and it just hasn't. Just doesn't feel, it's a bit like Lucas. It's like we're just trying to fit square pegs into round holes. He needs to be a striker, obviously can't always get in the side, and that's it. Sometimes you have to just put the best players in their best positions and just not try and fit everyone in to make the team look good. Okay. So are we good to put Smith-Rowe in?
Naturally, yeah. I think Smith-Rowe can go, in the cam position.
It's more, it's probably fits him nice in there.
Yeah.
Right. We've got a couple of Mills in there. Smith-Rowe and Højbjerg.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So let's start on the left. Let's start on the left, because I think it's gonna be easy to go in. I think we're just gonna put in Son, right? I think there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. There's not even no doubt about it. I think the reality is the guy's been sick, and there's no doubt about it. Son has to go in.
He has to go in, but let me be fair.
Go on. No, take the stand. There's no change. It has to be it.
Yeah, he's going in. I think he I think he's not actually been his best this season. I know the numbers might say different, but I feel like his link-up play with everyone else, apart from Kane, hasn't been good. I feel like he's not, and he's also not been doing the things. He's been doing it recently. The last 2-3 games, he's started to do it again. But literally, I want to see
Which is
Son.
funny because he's statistically fallen off in terms of goals and assists.
What do you mean?
Like you say that he's been doing it a lot better, linking up with other players.
Yeah.
But he's kind of fallen off in terms of he's not scored as much,
Yeah.
but he's linked up better with the team.
I don't know. I watch him and I feel like sometimes his passing's a bit off. Son for me is so cold in front of goal. Like I feel like it became his best attribute. Whereas I feel like he was good at before. He was better at, once he got that ball in the wing, you were in trouble. He was going at you. He was taking you into the box. He was jinking left and right. And he's done it in the last couple of games. He's taken on guys into the danger area and then got a couple of assists for Kane. And I'm glad to see it coming back again. But I feel like it's only recently come back. And I feel like otherwise he's been losing the ball in kind of like the middle of the pitch or deeper areas. And but going forward, I think there's no other player that can.
Listen, I mean, the thing is, you can't take goals and assists for granted, isn't it? Like, there's a reason those stats are there, and they're a big part of why you had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
And the link up, like, even though maybe it hasn't been as great with everyone else, the link up him and Kane have found this year has been mad. Like constantly back and forth between each other, like goals and assists, and like he's helped Kane's game step up as well. Like if Son's not there, I feel like Kane's got to do a lot more to get goals, where Son makes it easier for him. And then also in the Northampton derby, man just scored a banger on a casual one. On a casual one. Rob Holding was there like, you can have a go from there. Go on, have a go. He's like, cool. He was like, cool. Bam.
That was unreal, that goal. That was unreal.
That was filth. And he's got that in the locker. And I get that. And there's probably a case of him probably falling off a little bit of in terms of attacking wise, because you got Bell to kind of there now, and finally Bell's obviously come to the plate and helped out, in terms of scoring. So there's not as much pressure on him. But I just think I love him when he's a killer, man. I just think that's like, I know you don't want him to be his best, but I think he's in front of goal. He's a killer.
In front of goal, he's unreal. It's quite scary. Yeah. Okay.
Erhan says it's been a bit overrated lately.
No, I agree with him. That's what I'm saying. That's why I did. I'm definitely throwing him in. But I hear what Erhan's saying. Like I've criticized him a lot in recent games because apart from being cold in front of goal, and and then the thing is, those are the things you want him to do: be cold in front of goal and assist Kane. That's what you want him to do.
Yeah.
But he's been, everything else has been a bit. Yeah, he's not been at the same level he was previously. That's what it was. But I don't. He's always he never gets dropped. Like he's always in the team, and I understand why.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing up top, and this one pains me a lot more to do because, like, we've done this. Yeah, because we've done this before. These combined 11s, and I had to fight you for left wing. I had to fight you for up top. And now I've got no fight. I got no fight left in it now. Because Aubameyang's had a bad season, bro. He's had a bad season. He's coming back. He's coming back, and he's kind of making it a little bit more decent than it was at the start. Yeah. But he had such a bad start, and he just couldn't get going.
Yeah.
And you do sometimes feel like the change of formation helped him because it made us play a little bit more further forward. But he's not touching Kane right now, like in terms of performances at the highest level. And sometimes when you needed Kane to step up, and he has, and Aubameyang hasn't always done that. Sometimes goes missing in games, and I think it's okay to go missing in games as a striker, but do just get yourself on the score sheet at some point. Get yourself on the score sheet, and he is doing that now. He's doing that lately. He scored last week against Burnley. But then he had a quiet game in the Europa League. So it happens, isn't it? And this year he's definitely he knows he's been below standard, and Kane's. I don't know if has he stepped up. The thing is, he's so sick from before. Like
Yeah.
stepping up the level was hard anyway. So he's probably like just kept that consistency going from previous.
You know what?
That's been killer.
I'm going to disagree with that last point. I
You think
feel
he
like
has?
I feel like I didn't know he could. I feel like he has found a way to step up so significantly. Like,
Mm,
so he wears the number 10, and I feel like he plays like a 10 and a 9 sometimes. I
yeah.
feel like he's brought in the assists that this man has got this season. I don't. I'm trying to think of another striker who gets them types of assists, but
Mm,
he has been able to provide from every single area of the pitch, mix it up in midfield, battle in midfield, and this is all just added extras, basically, just
yeah.
added season on top of the numbers he's doing for goals as well. Like his goal
Mm,
involvement, I guess he's probably competing with people like Bruno Fernandes, I imagine, for goal involvement and
yeah.
things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. It,
Yeah.
it's been
He's got
he's
more
been
assists than Bruno.
yeah, he's
Mm,
been like everything comes through him. Like everything
mm,
good about the team comes through him, and I just feel like I'm just trying to enjoy as much time as possible with him
mm.
as we can.
Well, Shane says, should Spurs be worried about Kane possibly wanting to leave in the
Exactly.
next year or two? I mean, I ask this every year. I ask always. I remember we had this conversation so many times.
Yeah.
Is it time for him to go? Da, 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 da. But he
Yeah.
tends to stay. He tends to stay on year by year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Renewed a contract not too long ago. I feel like it's now make or break for him. Like you either sign
Mm.
a deal and say, "Cool, I'm just going to sit out Spurs for the
Yeah.
career and be the club legend," or go out and win trophies. And I can understand both points of view. Like he
Yeah.
wants to, do it, but it's just like, will you have that regret of not going out to a bigger club to win the biggest medals? I mean, Alan Shearer. It's funny
Yeah.
when he talks about staying at Newcastle and stuff. He's like, "Well, I had the Premier League in the bag
Yeah.
at
He had it.
Blackburn, yeah, Champions League would have been cool, but."
Yeah.
Had the Premier League, I've got the medal, still got the medal now, and I'm good with that. And I tried, but I just stayed loyal to my local club. Whereas Kane
Yeah.
ain't got that yet, and he's your club's been close to getting obviously Champions League final and that,
Yeah.
but you must think when is it going to be?
Well, I hear what Shane's saying as well. Not United though. United for me, I've I don't know. They've been playing well this season. Obviously, are they second now? But I don't see them. They're not touching City. He might as well go City and guarantee it rather than go
Mm,
United and they fall off again, which is what they have done. So
yeah.
yeah. But no, I want to see him, and I obviously selfish reasons. I want to see him in a Spurs shirt for like the rest of his career. But
Mm,
I am hearing that argument. I would love to see him lift a major trophy, man, because
mm,
for me he deserves it.
mm.
Oh my god, this question.
Who's better, Kane or Lewandowski?
That's not important. Who's more important? Who's more important for their club? That's the real question. Who's more important for their club?
Well, you say that, but if Lewandowski's not there, do they
Surely
struggle?
Bayern have got. Surely Bayern
They got
have
enough
got
in the
other
tank.
outlets. What they did to us was it last season or what they did to us? For me, the goals were coming from everywhere. They could have taken him off. They could have put on youngsters.
Oh,
It was
that was
mad.
lovely, isn't it? Yeah,
It
yeah,
it
that
was mad.
was. No. Right. Okay. So yeah, Kane goes in now. Right
Okay.
wing, and right, I'm gonna start right wing, and we're
Yeah.
gonna kind of hurry this up so we can go on to the preview, and then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
Right wing. For me, there's no doubt about it. Bukayo Saka. And I know I said it was Tierney, and I'm saying it was Saka.
Yeah.
And I know you were saying previously there's two outlets on our team.
Yeah.
Our other outlet is Saka,
Yeah.
and the kid is so cold. Like I know
Yeah.
I said Smith-Rowe's cold, but like Starboy is another level to Smith-Rowe. Right, Starboy is so like
Starboy.
he's so sick with it. He just looks like he's not gonna do nothing, and then he just steps up, goes through, man, goes in, literally saved us in Europa League. He's the reason why I was in the Europa League with the
Yeah.
cross to Aubameyang. Comes up with vital goals, vital
Yeah.
assists. Like, has he got the quality of Gareth Bale? No. Has he got that sort of technical ability made better than Gareth Bale? No.
Yeah.
But has he been better this season? No doubt about it. Like absolutely no doubt about it. Bell's been on the bench laughing and joking with the man them. Like I wonder if I'm going to play this week. Maybe, maybe not. He's had a good couple of weeks, and now Bell's back. Like I'm like, cool, that's cool. And that's good for you guys. But like Bukayo is the reason the reason why we're in 10th. That's a good thing, because I'm not saying we're going to be any higher. I'm saying we could still be in 14th, 15th place if it weren't for him.
No, that's huge. That's huge.
Starboy Saka is the guy.
I like you said. You mentioned that. I said you have two outlets. I think it was it Irfan that said he's most worried about Odegaard. I personally think that's impossible when Saka's on the pitch. I am most worried about Saka. He's going to be on the right, so coming down in between the lines between whether he plays Ben Davies or Reguilon, I don't know, but I'm most worried about that man on the ball, off the ball, like what he could potentially bring to this North London derby. And I think it's a huge game for him. Didn't really get to show it in the last one because we kind of just sat back. I don't know if we're going to just be sitting back in this game. So I like Saka. I think he's by far been like Arsenal's like saving grace this season. And he can do, for me, he can do everything. I don't know, apart from like aerial duels maybe, but like that's not really going to happen too much. He can do everything on the ball. His movement is very clever with it, playing tight spaces. He's so confident on the ball. I can see he's typed in his name there. Wait, hold on.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll quickly have the Gareth Bale argument. Has he been good this season, Gareth Bale? No, is my answer to that. Getting the fitness back. Has the manager given him the right opportunities to be Gareth Bale on the pitch? No. I just feel that give Gareth Bale a run of 2-3 games, proper run, not come on an 85th minute, not that, a proper run, 2-3 games. I honestly don't feel, and I'm even going to bring Kane into this. I feel he's that good. None of the 22 players on the pitch tomorrow can touch the ceiling that this man can hit, and he's been showing it recently. I feel he's that good. I know we're doing it over the season, so that's why I'm not gonna say too much. But I feel like he should be in this team. Should be in the right wing position. Right wing position.
I hear that, and I think like that's the kind of reason why we've done this season, just because it gives a bit of an overall look at how everyone is doing this year, and like you could easily say that like if we were doing it on overall ability, I probably would fight for Aubameyang to be in there because I know his ability is sick. So like, I'm saying Aubameyang should be in there. I'm saying like Partey ability wise should be in there, but I've not seen it, and I'm happy to not put him in there, sort of thing. And be like Bale, like bruv, the start of the season we had the conversation like Son Bell, Kane. Who's got the best front three in the Premier League? Is he better than Rashford, Martial, Cavani? Is he better than who's that? Salah, Mane, Firmino? That's like we're having a conversation because we know how good Bale is, and that you kind of thought that's it. Like Jose's going to start Bale, and it's going to be Bale, Son, Kane for the season, and that's it. And that was like a top 4 guarantee. Now I'm a bit 50-50 on that. I'm a bit like I feel like Jose has given him chances, and I don't feel like he's taken it.
Wow.
Personally, I feel like at the start of the season, I don't think he wanted it. We know he's got the ability, but I just felt like on the pitch, he was half-hearted. He weren't really on it. Like when Man got injured and he came in, like he got opportunities and he didn't take it. And Jose was like, well, I've gave you a chance. You didn't take it. I'm taking you out again then because you obviously don't want it as much. And listen, it may have been the move of the season because if he's back to his best now at the vital point where we're in March, you've got a cup final next month. You're in a good space in the Europa League. You could still obviously push for Europe in the league. Like it could have been a masterstroke from Jose to say, you know what, I'll bide my time with him. But I felt like at the start of the season, I weren't sure if he was coming to Spurs to play football or if he was coming to just build fitness back or just like, you know what I mean? I weren't sure. But now, clearly, like he seems like he's on it. And obviously the worst time for us because it's North London derby. But yeah, for this team, it has to be Saka in this team.
I'm not going to argue with that. I like him. I think he's that good, and
Yeah.
I'm annoyed we're fighting for him on that right wing. If we were fighting for him on the left wing, we're cool. We can have a conversation. But I think he fits in there.
Looks good. What we'll do then with the right back, we'll put it to a poll. Neeks, if you're listening, put it to a poll. We'll put all 4 options: Bellerin, Cedric, Doherty, and
Wow. World beaters.
Best of a bad bunch, we'll call it. Best of a bad bunch. Who gets the last place in the Neeks Sports 11, and we'll reveal the answers before the NLD tomorrow. Cool. So yeah, not a bad team. Right, now we'll quickly go into the match preview for tomorrow. Obviously, big game. Both teams need a win. Are you confident going into it? One thing I noticed, I didn't realize that because I was trying to think when the last time Spurs won at the Emirates, and it was 2010 in the Premier League. It was 2010.
Really?
2010 was the last Premier League win at the Emirates. You won in the League Cup. In the League Cup, but Premier League winning, and that's your only win at the Emirates. I think it was 3-2 in 2010. I was like, I didn't know, but I think there's been times over the years when you've got like draws at the Emirates, which were good results for you at the time because of the maybe way the match went, late goals or whatever. And we've had some good results over the Emirates, 5-2s a couple of times, 4-2 2 years ago. Last year was a good 2-2. Last year was a good game at the Emirates. But yeah, obviously Jose Arteta again. Jose's 2-0 up. But obviously both games have been at your ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, how are you feeling coming in? How are you feeling going into the game?
I think the key thing you mentioned is about certain players picking up form at the right time. I'll be honest with you, I hated our football for probably a couple of weeks ago, before obviously the Europa League game and everything. I just wasn't liking the football. We weren't getting the best, in my opinion, out of the attacking players. But now I can see we've started to pick our, we string together more passes. We're quite versatile. We can go short or we do long ball as well. We've got the players to do that, and we're actually doing that as well. And I feel like tomorrow is going to be quite. It's not going to. I don't feel like it's going to be as cagey as it should be. I'm quite confident that we're going to bag 2 or 3 goals.
Mad thing.
2 or 3 goals, yeah.
Mad thing. This is the lineup that you said you think that Jose will go with.
Yeah.
If it was you, is anything that you change in there?
Yeah, if it was me, I probably wouldn't start him. Contrary to what majority of Tottenham fans want to see, they'd want to see Lamela out, Ali in that 10. I would probably take Lamela out, put Ndombele in that 10, and throw Sissoko in the midfield role with Højbjerg.
I thought that was what you were gonna. I thought that was what you thought Jose would do. To be fair,
yeah.
Because I'll be surprised if Lamela starts. I'll be surprised if Lamela starts. Because I know Jose. Like I know because Bale got arrested in the Europa League. I think he'll definitely start. I don't think he'll go with 4 attacking players because it's a big game.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Jose in a big game likes to. I know it's not necessarily. Maybe he's not necessarily going to do the same tactics, but he likes to keep it solid in the middle.
Yeah.
And I feel like he may he may change it up and do a Sissoko in there, or maybe if he. I'll just be surprised. Lamela. I'll just be surprised to see Lamela. I mean, Lamela doesn't scare me, so I don't mind. I wouldn't mind it at all.
I know. This is what I'm saying. This is my problem with that selection. But I feel like, contrary to what you said, I feel like putting Lamela in that position does. I feel like he's not putting him in there for his attacking abilities. I think he's putting him in there for his energy, like what you mentioned about Lucas earlier, about what they bring to the team.
Chasing down.
I literally think that's his role.
Yeah.
Russell Feathers, energy, defend from the front. Get in the players'
Energy,
faces.
Mourinho.
Yeah. I know. But I'll be surprised. He's always started either a Lamella or Lucas in the last, I don't know, for the last month or so. I might be wrong with that.
So Sissoko hasn't started for a while, isn't it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I
Harry
think
Winks played last week, I think, didn't he? Yeah. I don't think Harry Winks is starting this week.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, because he's going to want to try and push for a European spot. But he's just not shown enough for me when he does get an opportunity.
Yeah.
He's been happy to go in there and pass sideways, and his forward passes have not been off. So he's Tottenham through and through, any. So, but I'm not sure he's got enough on the pitch to
Tottenham
really
through, but not good enough.
Yeah, it's sad. I liked him, but I don't know if anyone's forgiven him for the trying to take a touch against West Ham and then the Lanzini goal.
Yeah, that was tense. That was tense still.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly bring up the lineup that I think Arteta will go with. A couple of picture problems with the quality in there. But should be able to see that. So yeah, I think this is what I think Arteta will do. And I wouldn't be mad at it. The question mark for me probably has a centre back. Mari's been started in the league the past few weeks. Gabriel played in the Europa League and had a man of the match performance. So do you drop him or not? I think he will, because Mari's been consistent player in there. But then because he played so well, Arteta just said that's a play man on form. Wilson in the again, that could be either or. Bellerin played midweek, so he could change up. And the problem is, Thursday is a bigger game for us in terms of the season. Like Europa League is a must. We must go for that as a priority. But because we've got 3 away goals in the Europa League, like Olympiacos need 3 goals to score. I kind of think that he will treat this as a priority game and play the best available squad. So I think he'll go with that. I think he'll go Ødegaard in 10, Partey, Xhaka, Pepe could be Willian. And a lot of Arsenal fans have been up and down about Willian all season. But
Willian has a good record. He plays well against us, and he always has. So I'd be surprised.
He does.
I wouldn't want to see him.
And Willian is on form. He's on form coming into this game. Played well in Europa League. Played well against Burnley and Leicester. He's had a good little run. He's got most assists in our squad this season in the league. He can create goals. Yeah, he can create. It's so mad because obviously this season has been quite bad for us, but like he's an argument for one of our best on the ball deliveries, because like the goal that we scored in midweek was just purely like him digging out a cross out of nowhere and someone being able to header it in. Like Saka can create, Ødegaard can create, and Smith-Rowe. But for something like, I feel like in terms of out and out crossing, he's got that technical ability. And I always said it from the start. He's got the ability. It's just we weren't seeing it. We were not seeing his form at all, and they had to get dropped. There was no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Pepe's been good in the past few weeks as well. He hasn't started the past 2 games, so he could. I just feel like Arteta might freshen things up and bring Pepe in there, maybe against Doherty, to go with a bit of pace. But Arteta likes to play Pepe out on the right wing, on his left foot, and there's absolutely no way he can get in above Starboy. So, so if that's the case, then we may well see Willian on the left. I got a feeling this ain't going to be the team because Arteta, and I can never get it right. But I feel like I'm getting on a hunch and saying this is the best team we got, and obviously Aubameyang's coming into form now, so we need him to be solid.
Yeah.
Going forward, see, I knew Wilson was going to disagree with me. Bellerin, serious. Yes, I'm serious. I think he will. I think he'll go with Bellerin. I think Bellerin, as we said with the right back discussion already, there's no. I don't think Cedric's miles ahead of him. I know people think he is, but I just don't think Cedric's good, but he's not, not fantastic. He's probably a better crosser of the ball, but what does that mean if you ain't got people that are going in there to head the balls in the back of the net? So I think Bellerin suits Arteta's style a little bit more, sort of playing inverted in, and Partey needs a performance. He needs a performance. I'm sorry, like last North London derby, man was walking off because he got injured, and you scored a goal. Like that was his fault. I'm afraid. Like you can't do that in the Premier League. You cannot walk off the pitch. You can't do that. So I need to see and listen, if he performs in the NLD, like that's history. That's history. Man, don't forget that. Man, don't forget that. Like, do you know what I mean? Man, like we remember stuff. Like, Lucas Torreira took off his shirt, and you know what I mean. Like we don't like he ain't that much, but we remember that. You remember that one, like. So yeah, man, it'll be interesting. And I think because we got the 3 away goals, probably the next week on Thursday you might see like the Lacazette, Ceballos, maybe Elneny, Holding, and them sort of players. I just feel like you can't rest up, man. It's the North London derby. You just can't rest man up. Like you have to go for it. You have to go for it. So yeah, that's what I think he'll do. Score predictions. What are you going for?
I've gone for 3-1. 3-1
Spurs. To the Spurs.
Yeah,
confident 3-1 as well. 2010 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
3-1 to Spurs. Okay. Yeah. So this season I've been trying to predict Arsenal's results across the season. I've just been a thing that I tried this year to see if I could match up exactly what Arsenal get in terms of results to the on-field result. I've kind of obviously us being in 10th place means that it's a bit lower than what I expected us to be, but it is what it is. Like that's the situation that we're in. But I'm trying to be honest as well, and a lot of people disagree with my opinions, what I say. But I didn't think we were going to beat Burnley last week because I know Arsenal. I know how we are. I know how we play. And this is the thing that frustrates me because we got quality, but on the pitch sometimes you don't always see it. This is my current head-to-head between me and Arsenal.
Okay.
So I would have Arsenal on 43 points. Literally, this is game by game analysis. I would have Arsenal 43 points. They're currently on 38 points. So not too far out. Obviously there's been results that swung either way. But yeah, so it's not been too bad. But I'm gonna predict 2-0 victory for Spurs.
Oh, for Spurs.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. I think he'll do it. I can see it happening.
Ooh.
I can see it happening, and I don't want to. Wilson says 3-1 to Spurs. Really? Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. If that side is true, and there's Bellerin and David Luiz on that side of the pitch, that Son is coming down, I think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be a
Okay.
So,
I just feel like you're in the form right now. We are up and down. I don't see us like really putting in the performance to really like salvage something from this game. Like for me, the Premier League's done. Like we're just here to build for like Europa League's our main thing at the moment. So like if we lose, it's annoying for the bragging rights, but I'm be more vexed if we lost on Thursday than if we lost today. Tomorrow in North London. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Spurs. But obviously, I want Arsenal to win. Like you beat us early on in the season, so I went to win. But obviously, Kane will probably get his customary goal as he does anyway.
He does love this guy. He loves this fixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens, innit? So yeah, guys. As Wilson always says, I hope Arsenal prove you wrong. You made some mad predictions recently, but I've been right. I've been right. I told you before. Like Wilson, listen to me. I've been right. When I said that Arsenal won't beat Burnley, you disagreed with me, and we didn't. Wilson's gone for Arsenal 2, Spurs 1.
Wow. Okay.
Erhan says Arsenal will win 1-1. We'll take that.
I think that's a huge result.
We'll take that. The KM359
Wow.
says Spurs 4-0, Kane hat-trick. The KM. All right, KM. I see you.
That'll be good for the fantasy team. I'll take that.
I'll take that as well for the fantasy team. Neeks says 2-1 to Spurs. 2-1 to Spurs. So yeah, we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. A lot of people are going. I think like Spurs have to be the favourites at the moment. I know it's at the Emirates, but away form in the Premier League has not been changing of late with no fans.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the fans that scared you, man, from being at the Emirates for so long. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It was not the atmosphere there, man. No way. No way. It was just us. Our mentality was just poor.
Well, we had some atmospheres when Ramsey and Dyer had their little scuffle at the Emirates a couple of years ago. That was sick. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Miles, thank you for coming with us on here and sharing thoughts on North London Derby. I'm hoping that Arsenal win. Guys, I'll be back on Sunday after the match at 6:30. Kickoff's at 4:30. I'll be back at 6:30 to do a match review. Miles, if you want to come on and do a review, you're welcome to come on. I'll be on at I'll be on at 6:30 straight after the game. Just doing a review of the game. No matter the result, I'll be on. And we'll see if I can I'll see if Arsenal can claw something back on me in my my thing, because that means if Arsenal do get the win, they'll be 1 point behind me in my prediction. So yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, but guys, smash that like button on your way out. If you're new around here, subscribe to Neeks Sports. Hit that bell, get notifications of when your new Neeks Sports content will come out, and don't forget to share. Guys that are on Twitter, make sure you at us at Neeks Sports. We'll be posting the poll today on the best right backs in the North London Derby at the North London clubs. And yeah, we'll go from there. And we'll leave you with a bit of breaking news, actually. Sheffield United have confirmed that Chris Wilder has left the club. So Chris Wilder has left the club. They didn't say he's been sacked. They said he's left, but you don't know what that means. But yeah, they've been in bad form anyway. So yeah, Chris Wilder has now left Sheffield United. But guys, thank you for watching the show. Share the video. Passion's there. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
the Arsenal.
Yes.
This is what we want. This is what we want. Pure passion. Thank you guys for joining. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been good.